Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. So today's video is not going to be a very fun video for me to make, but it is very educational, which is what this channel is all about. So I'm going to be making it for you. So as I say in almost every single one of my videos, I work at a pet store. So I get a lot of people in there with animals that they don't know how to take care of or that aren't being taken care of properly. Now yesterday a lady came in with, well, a little girl. She was about 12. She came in with her father, and they had a leopard gecko with them, and the leopard gecko was overly sick. And by overly sick, I mean could not walk on its own, could not open either one of its eyes, and it would move its feet a little bit. It had stuck shed so bad that its toes were losing circulation and its toes were falling off. It couldn't open its eyes because of the stuck shed. And it was just skin and bones, looked like it hadn't eaten, which, may I mind you, is very hard to starve a leopard gecko to death because they store so much of that fat in their tail, which is why their tails are so fat. Now, this leopard gecko looked like it had not eaten in about a year, if not maybe, let's say, 10 months. So I told them, I said, and it looked like it had metabolic bone disease because its bones were all messed up and wonky. And they said, what's wrong with my gecko? I said, there's a lot wrong, listed all the things, and told them, now the way we can fix this is if you get an appetite stimulant, you would have to force feed the appetite stimulant, which it had some scarring on its mouth, and was kind of bleeding a little bit. So I said, you want to be careful with prying open its mouth. Don't hit any of that scarring. So I said, you want to pry open its mouth and force feed some of the appetite stimulant, and make sure to mix in a little bit of calcium with that, and do that based off of how much the gecko weighs. And so I said, have you been feeding the gecko calcium? They said, well, we were, but we can't find the calcium. We haven't been able to find it for a couple of months now. I'm like, okay, well, you can't just not give them calcium. If you can't find it, go and buy more. I said, you need calcium. This gecko has an extreme case of metabolic bone disease. I said, it's not a reversible thing, but you can make sure that it does not continue or get worse or progress. They were like, okay, well, the guy said, we'll have to talk to her mom. I was like, okay, which is very frustrating. Like, if the gecko needs care, make sure you take care of it. But anyway, so he sent the little girl in with her mom today. They brought the gecko back in, and she was asking me what they could do. Told her the exact same thing that I told him, and they had the gecko just sitting on them, and then they decided they were going to buy a crested gecko, which I informed them is more care than a leopard gecko because of the higher humidity requirements and things like that. But they didn't care. They wanted the leopard gecko, or the crested gecko. So they ended up buying the crested gecko. And I let them know, I gave them a care sheet, how to properly take care of them. I made sure that they did not leave the store without calcium and proper supplements, everything that they needed. Now, after that, I walked up to the mom when the little girl wasn't around, and I said, hey, just to give you an option, I'm not by any means saying that this is what you have to do, but I'm going to give you the option of, if you'd like, I take in unwanted reptiles and or sick reptiles, I rehabilitate them. Sometimes I keep them, sometimes I don't. If they don't make it, I'm okay with that because I see that quite frequently, and which is true. I have taken in a lot of rehabilitated reptiles that have not made it, but I said I do take in rehabilitated reptiles. I said I really feel like this gecko has a chance if given the proper nutrients and given the proper appetite stimulant and things like that. So the mom kind of broke down and started crying and said, yes, please, like, I really don't want to see this gecko die, let alone have my daughter watch it die. So they gave me the gecko. Now, if you know anything about leopard geckos, they have a very thick tail. That's where they store all of their nutrients, and they are able to walk up on their feet, so their tummies don't drag on the ground. Their eyes are very big and alert, Now I'm going to show you this gecko, and we're gonna spot the differences between a healthy gecko and this gecko. All right guys, so I brought the gecko home. You can clearly see how skinny she is. Her one eye is so matted shut with stuck shed. I did manage to get the stuck shed off the other eye, but this eye the stuck shed was really bothering her. The other eye, it just kind of fell off. There's stuck shed all over. Her toes are falling off on this side because the stuck shed has cut off all circulation of her toes. There are some missing toes on this back foot here. There's missing on the top of the toes. She's already missing a toe there. You can see just completely malnourished. If you look at the size of her tail, she's still moving. She's still moving around, which gives me hope. She's a gorgeous gecko. I mean, she's all black and white, and she's gorgeous by all means. But you can see right there on her toes that those toes are just turning yellow and are necrotic. And her eye here is turning yellow and necrotic. And you can see a little bit of that scarring that I was telling you about on her mouth. Now, I don't want to stress this gecko out too much. This is the carrying container that I brought her home in from the store because they did not have a container, so I used one of our shipping containers to bring her home. And if you hear Nala screaming in the background, I do apologize. But I'm gonna get her all set up in a quarantine plastic tank, one that I can toss away. I'll either use like a shoebox, I might use a 10-gallon tank, one of my old ones that I use as a hospital tank. But basically she will have paper towel as bedding. She will have a cup of calcium to lick from if she chooses. I do have Zilla's appetite stimulant. It's the Jumpstart. It comes, let me show you. It comes with a syringe and the caloric stimulant, the Jumpstart. I will be giving her some of this and force feeding this to amp up her appetite, to make her want to chase her prey again, because they said that she hasn't really been chasing her prey, which I don't blame her. She's very weak and malnourished and probably doesn't have the strength to chase her own prey. So I'm going to do that. I might mix up some, what I'm gonna call bug butter, where I just kind of crunch up some worm and can syringe feed that as well with some calcium mixed in. Now I weighed her and she weighs 14 grams, which for an adult leopard gecko is extremely, extremely malnourished. It's really bad. She's less than half of the weight of what she should be. She's probably about a quarter of the weight of what she should be as the size that she is. And anyway, I just wanted to get this video posted and up, and I will give you guys some updates as time goes on. I'm going to continue to take her and weigh her probably once a week to see how things are progressing. I'm gonna give her a nice soak. We're gonna see if we can get that off of her other eye to allow her other eye to open. We're gonna get some calcium in her. We're really gonna try and make sure that she survives. And if not, I will also keep you updated on that. But fingers crossed that she's gonna be able to survive and she'll live for the rest of her life normally. Not completely normally, as she does have the metabolic bone disease, and she probably will never recover completely from that, if at all, from the metabolic bone disease. However, we'll make sure that it does not progress any further. So yeah, that's really it for this video. I'm gonna get this up and running onto YouTube so you guys can see that. And then I'll keep you updated based off of what's going on and stuff like that. I don't know how often I'll be posting about her. That just is gonna be based off of how she progresses and whatnot. If she's progressing pretty quickly, I'll probably post more often. If not, then I won't post as often about her. But yeah, that is it for this video. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And animals like this that I do take in that need some of that extra care. Even just a simple like and subscribe can really help these animals on my channel and things like that, because any little bit helps. But if you haven't, go ahead and check out my description box. It does have my Instagram page linked on there, my email, my Snapchat, and my Facebook. I post most of my stuff on Instagram though, if you want to keep updated throughout my life and see animals that I might not post on YouTube currently. Check out my Instagram. There's always something going on Instagram. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.